We are the nation's number one talk station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Good morning to you, Lagos, Nigeria. It's 5 minutes past the hour. We'll bid you welcome to the last 1 hour of the show this morning. It's called The Morning Crossfire. You can watch us live right now on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can join us on those two platforms. Nigeria Info 99.3. So we're going to start with our conversation on LPG gas, the cooking gas. Because there's a lot going on in that subsector, in that space, and would have that conversation very briefly before the half-hour mark. We should get to some really reasonable point in that conversation. At the other side of the hour, we'll be talking about ASU strike. We have some really lovely advocates who wants students back in school to join us at the time. But right now, let me quickly get into the conversation at this point. I have joining us this morning, Mr. Nuhu Yakubu is a member of the Governing Council and the current president of the Nigeria Liquified Petroleum Gas Association, NLPGA. He's also the founder and group managing director of one of the largest LPG distribution companies in Nigeria, Bana Energy Limited, with over 20 years of industry experience in the energy and power sector. Mr. Nuhu Yakubu is a prominent figure cutting across the energy sector, upstream, downstream, as well as in the power sector of Nigeria. We'll be speaking with him on the gas situation in Nigeria. Mr. Nuhu Yakubu, a very lovely morning to you. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Good morning, Nigeria Info. Pleased to be here. And good morning to Nigeria.
Let's get started. Let's talk about the situation with LPG in Nigeria. The price seemed to be going higher and higher and higher. Could you please inform Nigeria what's really happening? Every day I get complaints on this program as to the price. I mean, it's not coming down, Mr. Nuhu.
Yes, I know. I know. It's a topical subject matter on the lips of every Nigerian today. Why price of gas is on the upward rise, but unfortunately, the pricing is tied to the rise or the drop in the value of the naira as against the international trading currencies like the dollar. So whenever you see the price of the naira exchange rate is dropping, you see it affects internationally traded commodities, which includes gas. All right, and also I'm interested to note too that there are quite a number of nefarious activities you find by some there's some extortionist activities at some of the loading facilities where you have all sorts of touting arrangements where organizations that are not in any way related to the LPG value chain just mount roadblocks and just collect money from operators. So these are some of the challenges we are facing, and I hope with the kind of efforts we're putting in, Nigerians should smile soon, with the efforts we're putting in collaboration with government.
Let's talk about those efforts and the smiling soon part, because Mr. Nuhu, you and I know we flare gas quite a bit in this part of the world. From someone who is an active player in that sector, is there something you can tell us? Is there anything in the pipeline? I know there is a plan, the gas master plan or something like that. Where are we on that plan? And is there any other program, any other plan going on in making sure that we reduce the rate at which we flare gas in Nigeria?
Yes, interestingly, there's a gas flare down commercialization program which is being promoted by the federal government of Nigeria under the auspices of the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources and the Department of Petroleum Resources, or as you have it today, NNDPR, the downstream regulatory agency, as it is now called. The gas flare down commercialization program has gone quite far.
Okay.
Assets have been awarded, or they're in the verge of being awarded now, so that you see a lot of those flare sites will be flared down. Some of those flares will be captured for beneficial uses, which will include stripping them up to produce LPG for Nigerians. So those are some of the efforts I'm talking about, where you then begin to see, rather than awaiting the major suppliers who are doing their best, really breaking their back to supply the market, like the Nigeria LNG. We want to begin to see midstream operations where we can see other sources of LPG getting freed up to supply the market, so that it's not exactly, it's not all the the fragrances associated with the pricing, international pricing, will not be so impactful on the local market.
Indeed, that's so pleasing to hear. Let's talk about the coming summit, which is quite important as well. The second West Africa LPG Expo and
Yes.
NLPG summit organized by the Nigeria LP Gas Association. This is being organized by the Gas Academy Singapore. Yes.
Yes. Well, not just with them, and in collaboration with Nigeria PG Association. So it's a collaborative exercise. We every year try to host one or two major LPG activities, but save for COVID, in the last 2 years, we've not had an in-person activity. But we're happy this year to announce that we have our LPG Summit and Expo coming up on the 23rd and 24th of this month, month of June. It's an in-person conference. We have international delegates and exhibitors coming in. So we're really very excited. We're hosting a lot of delegates at Echo Hotel, Federal Palace Hotel, the Balmoral Event Center.
Yes.
Where we're going to see a lot of exhibitors, international LPG equipment manufacturers, LPG players, all in one room to showcase what they have, the new technologies in LPG, to showcase opportunities for investments in LPG, to also bring buyers and sellers together and make deals. So it's an in-person conference this time around, as opposed to the last 2 years where we've had 2 conferences. And this project is in collaboration with Gas Academy, like you rightly said. It's just one of those collaborations that we try to promote every year.
I'm glad that you've already touched on, what you intend to achieve with this summit, bringing up new technologies and showcasing it to the world. Are there other areas that you like to touch on as to the reason behind this summit? What you intend to achieve with this summit?
The reason are not far-fetched from the questions you asked me earlier when we started this show, which is pricing. We want people to understand the LPG sector better. We want Nigerians to take ownership of the LPG sector. It's our natural endowment. Nigerians should take ownership of it. And where better can they learn more about LPG, if not in summits and conferences like this, where they can sit down and listen? There's free access to the exhibition area, but of course you have to register to partake in the deliberations. So, and then I'm sure before the end of this program, I'll reel out the registration link. All right, so that your viewers or your listeners can take note and register to participate. It's very, very important for Nigerians to understand the issues. It is only when you come to fora like that, like what we're organizing now, that people can understand what are the issues and how do we participate. You'd be surprised that there are some people who are not even players today that have fantastic ideas that when they come on board, they hit the ground running. They're able to bring some new smart ideas and smart solutions to some of the issues bedeviling the industry today. Everybody's welcome. We welcome everybody. It's a Nigerian thing. Let's take ownership of it.
Let's quickly touch on how they can register, then we'll move on to other issues. Quickly, now that you've mentioned it, how can people register?
Oh, it's easy. Just go to our Facebook page, Nigeria Liquified Petroleum Gas Association. We're on Facebook. You see the link there. And on Instagram, we are at NLPGA on Instagram. On Twitter, we are at NLPGA. And on LinkedIn, we're on Nigeria LPG Association. But I can also read out the link for the registration for viewers, for your listeners who have their pen. Is HTTPS column bit.ly/3 capital L J capital GQTP. I'll read it again. https://bit.ly/3 capital L small j capital G Q TP. So that is the link. All right. But if you visit these channels, our social media handles,
Yes.
You will see the link there. Nigeria PG Association on Facebook, Nigeria Liquified Petroleum Gas Association on Facebook. On Instagram, we are at NLPJ. On Twitter, we are at NLPJ, and on LinkedIn, Nigeria LPG Association. I hope your listeners have heard me.
I hope so too.
Well.
If time permits, we'll come back to it before we go. Well, let's talk about the NLNG's domestic LPG scheme. This scheme has been on for about 15 years, if I'm not wrong. What has been the success story behind this scheme for players in the industry?
Well, the NLNG's intervention was brought about, was enunciated by the former President Olusegun Obasanjo around about 2005, 2006, and then it kicked off in 2007. Before then, what led to it was that we saw a very, very serious challenge on the supply side, where in spite of our rising population, our supply side was on the downward swing. So the president then and his team and his government thought it was proper to get some of the international oil gas producers, all right, to channel some of their gas production to the domestic market as opposed to exporting all the volumes.
Right.
And it has been the best thing Nigerian government has done since then, because successive governments have sustained that program, and NLNG on its own part has been fantastic, has done so well. It has successively increased its volume supply to the Nigerian market, so much so now, in just last year here, quarter last year, they announced a total 100% supply of all the LPG production to domestic market. It couldn't get better.
That's great.
If not for what NLNG is doing for domestic market, the price of LPG will have been even worse, because NLNG has done so many in its pricing mechanism. They try to even put the Nigerian public in the context in its pricing. If not for what the NLNG is doing in the market, it would have been a lot worse on the pricing side. So kudos to NLNG, and we're looking forward and hoping that other international oil gas producers can do just what NLNG is doing. If all of them could do a fraction of what NLNG is doing in the domestic market, it will be a different story altogether. So these are some of the measures, like I said earlier, we are promoting. We're trying to get galvanize the industry to industry big players to come on board with us and to see how we can mitigate and resolve these stomach infrastructure challenges of Nigerian people.
Indeed. Well, I understand that the summit coming up on the 23rd and 24th of June, I understand that it's geared towards making LPG a kind of sustainable fuel in African economies. And this has prompted me to want to ask this question, Mr. Nuhu. What should an average Nigerian hope for when it comes to LPG?
Yeah, so because LPG is a broad spectrum fuel, it's a fuel that has many applicable uses, whether as fuel gas, all right, for cooking gas as we know it, all right, or for power generation, all right, whether it's small power or big power. These are pass my neighbor generators to the big power plants, or auto gas for fueling vehicles, or for as feedstock for petrochemicals, all right, and what have you. So many applicable uses. So we want Nigerians to come on board, to come and understand the applicable use of LPG, so develop to industrialize Nigeria. All right. So when we understand the gas and the properties of LPG as a product and its variants, whether it's butane specification LPG or the propane specification LPG, and what can we do with this fantastic fuel gas? And it's okay. As a Nigerian, it's okay. Well, I have plans to to develop agro processing, and I want to take advantage of my LPG to engage in agro processing, all right, agro or even mineral processing. So LPG is a broad spectrum fuel that can add value to processing. Let's even start with processing.
Yeah.
You know how many of our farmers' produce don't get to the market because it gets spoiled. How can we apply LPG as a vegetable energy to preserve our farm produce? And how can we apply an LPG as a vegetable energy source to process this farm produce into semi-finished or even finished product before they get to the market? You just imagine the value add. You know how it is about cocoa.
That's right.
Cocoa beans
That's
is so cheap, but the chocolate is so expensive.
That's
How so?
Right.
When our farmers in harvest cassava, they sell the tubers, all right, or they just process the gari with charcoal and firewood, and then so we need to encourage the use of this fuel called LPG, this fantastic fuel called LPG, to improve the lot of our people, and then also importantly to reduce household energy poverty. And there's what they call the household energy poverty, which is quite pervasive. All right, you see a lot of people still cannot afford clean energy sources for cooking, which is not acceptable. All right, people cannot in this day and time continue to use firewood and the charcoal and whatever you want, whereas we have so much gas, and like you rightly said, some of it is on flare.
Who can attend this summit? Because I hear you're saying Nigerians. Is it that everybody, or there are specific targets that you're looking at? Who can attend this summit?
Anybody who is a Nigerian or a resident in Nigeria can attend this summit. There's no limitation as to who. If you have age and you want to learn about LPG, please come on.
Right.
We will receive you. Just register, and when you register, when you click on the registration, it takes you through the process. All right. It takes you through the process of if you have to pay. So you just submit the form for the delegate or exhibitor, and then you receive the email that indicate that the Naira rates and the details account for you to credit for those who want to partake in in the conversations. All right. And then if you are just coming for the exhibitions, please come. The exhibition arena is free for you to come and tour and see what international exhibitors and local exhibitors have to offer.
Again, Mr. Nuhu, you need to take us through the registration process. How can people register once again?
Okay, like I said, you just to visit the link. It's double HTTPS bit.ly/3 capital letter L, small letter J, capital letter G, QTP. That is the link.
Okay.
And when you click on the link, it will ask you to submit a form for the delegate or exhibitor. It depends on what you want to partake, how you want to participate in the conference.
Right.
And then you receive a mail that indicate that the Naira rates to indicate the Naira rates to pay, to access the conference proper.
Right.
And the details of account for which you pay your delegate's fee into, and then that gives you access. So we look forward to seeing all of you, to see Nigerians show up at this conference big time.
Before you go, though, people can still get the information that they need through your social media handles, right?
Oh, yes. Like I said, of course.
Can you go through the social media handles once again before we go?
Okay. The social media handles on Facebook, we're on Nigeria Liquified Petroleum Gas Association, spelled in full.
Okay.
Nigeria Liquified Petroleum Gas Association. That's our link, our handle on Facebook.
Right.
And on Instagram, it's at NLPGA. Also on Twitter, we are at NLPGA. And on LinkedIn, we are Nigeria LPG Association. LinkedIn is Nigeria LPG Association. So any of these channels, you will find more information for purposes of registration.
Mr. Nuhu Yakubu, the current president of the Nigeria Liquified Petroleum Gas Association, joining us via Zoom this morning all the way from Abuja. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much, Nigeria Info, and you guys are doing a great thing. Thank you for having us on this your show, the most popular show in Nigeria.
Thank you.
We look forward to coming back again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nuhu. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Lagos, let's quickly step out, take this short break. When we return from this break, we'll have our second conversation, and that is about ASU strike. Some individuals are saying that no school, no strike. Would get to talk to them as to exactly what they mean. But I have Isoke here. Isoke is not going to school. She has left school for some time now. Isoke, how you doing?
I'm really, really good, actually. I'm even more excited because I have some exciting news to tell you.
Tell me.
Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's